I'm not doing anything just to see what he does.
Sure.
So a lot of the times with reactivity issues, the issues start a long time before you even see another dog. So preferably right now, we're not even gonna cross another dog, so you guys can practice this. You have a solid foundation when you do come across another dog. If you're having some issues with other dogs, I can bring my dog on that date that we schedule, work through it with the dog in a controlled way, and give you some tips at the new place. So you see how excited he is about the walk. Excitement is one thing, but the more excited he is, again, the farther he is from self-control. Whatever reason behind why he reacts, do you think it's protective or fear or both?
Like, I think it's because he thinks it's working. Like, he's telling everyone stay away, and he barks and no one like bothers him.
That means it can be like a combination of both. He has this protective instinct, but deep down he's a big baby. So when you have the two of those things, or he wasn't socialized that much, right?
He was the first few years we had.
Oh, he
He
was
was totally fine, and then one day it totally switched.
When I think
and he
the
barked at
protective
every dog.
instinct kicked in
Yeah.
when deep down he was like a big baby. So then it's, I mean, imagine if you have to have the protective, you know, you have to protect, and then you're actually deep down really afraid. It produces a lot of confusion because it's two opposites. So the goal for either, it doesn't really matter, but the goal for either is like, if you are afraid, look to me instead of taking it out on the dog. And when you think it's your job to protect, maybe that's what the other trainer was getting at.
Yeah, he was saying, we're in charge, look at us, everything's okay.
Okay, yep, so he thought protection then probably.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
look to me instead. So again, when his mind was already excited, leash means out the door, bring him back down here and present with you. So a sit every single time before going out the door. Diego? Yes, wait. Ah!
Yeah, we do the okays to go out to.
Oh, you do?
It takes a little while to get them both.
Okay, that's okay. Wait. Ah! Diego. Yes. Dee, dee, dee. Bup, bup. Okay. Good. And I think it's really important to work on it individually. Yes. Good. And then the sit afterwards is super important.
I feel like a lot of the time he just doesn't know what we want him
Diego,
to do.
he has no clue. Yeah, look at him. He's like, do I go this way? Do I go wait? We want him to know, if you just think about his only job on the walk being sitting and looking at you constantly.
Okay.
Or while he's walking, looking at you. Did you get a treat? Diego, sit. Yes. Diego, sit. Yes, this is also going to help with the pulling, everything. If you just get him like the second you're going into your own world, chill out, it will help with everything. Diego. Yes, good. Diego. Yes. Yeah, he's very confused. He's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
We used to be
Sit.
really good on walking.
Yes.
He would not pull, he wouldn't go ahead.
Really?
But then it just,
Sit. Yes. Diego. 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 Yes. Kind of lax leash training that I do. I mean, if you do a couple steps, get him to sit, that's fine too at the level that he's just instantly goes out. But lax leash training, what I say is, while you're walking, like if you guys are going somewhere, call his name 3 times. Diego. Diego. He half looked at me the first time. Diego. Yes. Good. If he looks at any of those, oh, here we go. I'm not doing anything just to see what he does. Diego. And then measuring how long it takes him to snap out of it. Hi. For a while after they're not even visible, huh?
yeah, it can go this.
This was probably the number, I mean, that was probably the worst because it's like right out of his house, his territory.
Yep.
Diego! Yeah, he's still this worked up.
Yeah.
So that's a really good indicator of reactivity. Here comes another dog.
Yeah.
That's a really good indicator of their level of reactivity, how long it takes them to snap out of it.
Yep.
So I would say, since it's taking him that long, Never let his mind go at all when you see a dog. What I would have done when seeing that, I would have backed him up right away and gone around the corner and just had him sit. And he'll probably get like one little glimpse of it maybe, but if not, that's okay. And now that he's like really worked up, I'm not even going to set him up failure right here and let him see, because he's so worked up.
Still whining.
So basically the goal is when a dog still is reacting after the dog is visible, is to get him to calm down faster and faster and faster. Until you have that, you can't really prevent the reactivity. Just a general rule of thumb. Think about it, it's totally gone and he still reacted for like 30 seconds afterwards. So I'm gonna see, so basically, I wouldn't do this in this level, but Diego, come. When it's little dogs, you can give him that much of a view and then right back. But I said I wouldn't do it usually in that state because I knew this is what was going to happen, but I just wanted to be able to show you guys. Hi. So if I saw that before, I would just not even give him a glimpse of it because you want to get to Diego. And again, this is where it seems hopeless when you're like, Diego, Diego, Diego. But the more you are persistent about, hi, right here, this is where I want your mind, the faster he'll snap out of it. It's just gonna take some time because this is a pretty intense level of reactivity. It is, yeah. So the very best thing you guys can do, I think, is try to avoid every dog. But even when you do that, you're gonna come across dogs. So when you do come across dogs, like I would never say, if I knew you could avoid every single dog going out on a walk, I wouldn't say avoid every single dog. But I just know even if you try to 100%, you won't be able to. So he will be exposed to some. So try to avoid every single dog. But when he does see a dog, and avoiding just means it keeps the association with other dogs at a neutral thing. So that then when we can introduce him to my dog, it resets everything. His only interactions with the dog are going to be positive to reset his mind. Because every bad association, negative association he has with the dog sends him down that negative line with dogs. And with that level, it's just management basically if he is reacting. But again, if he reacts, back up to a point where you can get him to chill. You don't want to continue on your walk until he chills out. When you live downtown, this is going to be hard because you'll be chilling on the sidewalk and another dog just like that could go. But realistically, after he's reacted once, if you can't get him to fully calm down before moving on, there's just like a no. There's really nothing you can do at that point. It should be like a one exposure, ideally a tiny glimpse, just like that. Like ideally you would dodge every dog, and then when he does see a dog, it can be so controlled like that, where he has literally half a second glimpse and then settles down. Because every single time then, I mean, you can do it for as long as you live here, for sure. This is like perfect. You know, if you see a dog, tiny glimpse, you know, once a day, settle down, you'll see the amount of time it will take him to snap out of it will decrease. And it's common reactivity works on the back end of it. You know, he snaps out of it faster, faster, faster. It's the same thing as like if you thought somebody was following you, you'll look over your shoulder, but once you realize it's nothing, you'll snap out of it faster. But it will still always be your initial reaction. So once he's snapping out of it faster, 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 then we can work to like prevent him from doing it in the first place. But until you have that, yes, it's okay.
He just gets really hyped up on walks anyway.
Nothing. So yeah, exactly. So working, and then ideally when you're just out on the walk, getting his focus constantly when there's no dog around as well. So either sitting every step or 3 Diegos. This is if no dog's around. If he doesn't respond in 3 Diegos, then he has to do a full sit. Yes. So right now, there's no dog. So this ties into what I was talking about earlier. Okay, that was very hard for him. Now since it's easier, let's try to do this again and make him focus on me out here, because he couldn't before because the distraction was too much. Because you can already see he's still alert and ready to.
He's making sure they're not still here.
Sit. And look at how hard it is for him. just with no dog visible.
He knows this is the place he'll see them first.
Over here! I mean, this is literally a perfect place to practice
He
this
probably
at.
knows that. As soon as he gets out here, there's usually a dog
Yep,
here.
he's already on alert. And again, his mind is forward, so we need to get it present. Diego, sit. Diego, 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 Diego. Hi, hi. So if he's not taking treats, we have to back up. I don't want him to see. Where is it? Oh, they went that way. So we don't have to back up because it's backing up. But if he wasn't taking treats here, I'd go further from it till I can get his focus.
Okay.
Since they're going further away, it will just take time right here. Diego. Hi. This is very hard for him. Wow. He will once he snaps out of it. So he will. It's a good, like, taking treats is a good indicator of stress level. So yeah, if you have treats in front of his face, he's not taking it, you're too close to the trigger.
Okay.
Hi! Hey! Come on. You can do it. The dog's not even there. So here's where, like, his mind is forward. I would not go forward. His mind's forward. I'm going to bring it back to me. Then we'll go forward together. Instead of right here, so many people meet their dog up here and allow him to go up, then he's always a step ahead of you.
Okay. Bring it back.
Yep. Here. Hi. Hi. Takes a lot of patience, but you can do it, Diego.
We're both having a hard time. He doesn't usually cry that much.
He doesn't.
No. But
It was kind of a lot right away.
yeah. Yeah.
And remember, when you're backing up, no jerking with the elbow. Did we talk about that before?
No.
It's because that produces like, oh, I need to be on alert. So move with your feet, not your elbow, when you're backing him up.
Okay.
Hi. Yes. That's a big piece. Sorry. Faked you out. Yes. So I definitely could stay here longer because after he got a treat, well, that was good. He looked back. So him just looking at me once, it's huge waves, but realistically, I know his mind is still like 40% out there,
Yeah.
but better than, is there no dog? We good? Okay.
He hasn't got out here.
Let's try again.
This is focusing.
Yep.
Coming.
Sit. Diego, come on out. One more. Look. Yes! Now ending it on what he just couldn't do this entire time. Good boy. Yes. There we go. And that would be like all you would want to do then. End it on what was too hard for him.
You got it.
Yep. And even so if he was just so on edge and couldn't do it, at least end it on him like sitting here. Try to find where, or it might even be over there is where you would end if he's having a really bad day, just where it was so hard he couldn't, but then you made him work through it and he did.